So there was a model on Sports Illustrated who was trans, and I remember I had a group text with a bunch of guys on my baseball team, like former teammates, and we sent around the photo, and we were all like, "Yeah, I would hit that like
Yeah, I
100%."
think if I'm remembering the same, I would also hit that.
Yeah. Welcome to test episode number 1 of the Sam and Zach show, Zach and Sam show. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it
Yeah.
out. Have you had any ideas in terms of names that have popped up into your head?
No, I actually haven't. I should start thinking about that. Maybe it will come in time with our chemistry development. I mean, sometimes we need to walk the runway before we really know
100%.
what it could be for us.
Yeah, 120 episodes in, we'll finally think of one
Yeah.
possible name. No, literally the only thing that popped into my head was the I guess you would call it the monogram, like the initials of the episode. So if it was Sam and Zach, it would be Saz, S-A-Z, versus Zach and
Yeah.
Sam, which is Zas. And I was like, if we shorten it, I feel like Saz looks better than Zas. Zas sounds awkward. Saz is
Yeah.
like razzle dazzle, So like we could
Yeah.
start the episodes and be like, let's get Sazzy.
With a little jazz.
Exactly. Yeah. So some smooth Saz. 100.
Hey, it's something that's a start. That's good. Better than nothing. Better than what I had.
100%. So how much have you heard about this Bud Light Dylan Mulvaney debacle disaster that's been going on?
What I've heard is not the question. What I've seen is the question. Because I've mostly just seen so many videos now of like people blowing up Bud Light cans or whatever they would like to do to destroy Bud Light. So I've seen a lot and I am pretty familiar, but yeah, I would love to see the clip because I've not even watched I think it's only like a 40-second commercial or something.
Yeah, it's like 40 seconds on Instagram. She put up some photos too, and it's like so typical of just the way that Americans consume media. Like, and I'm saying that for myself because I watched probably 30 reactions on Twitter when I was searching around for topics to research, and then it took me probably an hour and a half where I was like, I should probably watch the original ad because I was like swinging back and forth and being like, fuck Dylan Mulvaney, like fuck Bud Light, like oh no, this reaction's better. I'm like, I don't even know what happened.
We don't even know.
Yeah.
We just start believing whatever it is.
I'm just downloading bullshit reactions that I can
Yeah.
like riff with my friends about when I'm 7 beers like I'm drinking Bud Light and I'm
Yeah.
just like, let me tell you about this reaction to this story that I didn't even watch or listen to, and then they'll give me their
Totally.
take, and then we'll try to figure out together what actually happened. Just piece
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm so down for destroying Bud Light because let's be honest, it's not the best beer in the world. Like way before
No.
this whole thing, it's just not a very good beer. So we could eliminate Bud Light.
Yeah.
I hope nobody finds that too personally offensive if you've been throwing back Bud Lights your whole life.
No, I mean the only like I drank a shit ton of Bud Light in college because it was
Exactly,
the
me
cheapest
too.
thing you could get that
That's
would
why
get you
I
drunk.
hate it now.
Yeah, so I feel like because Bud Light is basically, if you're going to drink 20 of them, it's a great beer. Like there's not many beers I can drink a shit ton of and then feel relatively not hungover because I feel like it's so watered
Yeah.
down. And it's a perfect beer
Exactly.
for that. The motto should be like, if you're going to drink 20, buy Bud Light.
Yeah. If you're trying to stay a little bit hydrated today, get a few buckets of Bud Light.
100%.
That was pretty much the go-to.
100%.
And it's like $5 for like 5 bottles of Bud Light in a college town bar. So wherever you go for your college specials, Bud Light will be there.
100%. If you're an alcoholic, but you also want to stay semi-fit with, you could put scoops of pre-workout into the Bud Light since it's basically like water, and you can use that to hydrate you while also getting a good workout.
Wow. I never even thought of that, but that's a good method for bar crawling.
Yeah, I mean, you need the energy. I mean, there are a lot of people that wouldn't do cocaine, but they would snort a line of C4 pre-workout. So they're just like, this is
Wow.
FDA approved. Which I'm honestly like I've done both, and I'm pretty sure C4 is worse for you than cocaine. Like I've literally had this is just like a random tangent, and then we'll get into the story, but I've had one bad episode of or not heart palpitations, but like just like a super fast racing heart in my life. And it was
Mhm.
from C4. It was from when I was playing
Oh my
baseball in
god.
college, doing 3 scoops in the morning. My tolerance is through
Wow.
the roof. And I would get up at 5:30 and mix a shake together.
Yeah.
It would be 3 scoops in there. And yeah, Blow never did that to me. So,
Yeah.
but
That's like
C4
a
did.
whole conversation for another day is like these health products these days that are out there. And I'm like, are they even tested on people? And if they are, they're probably just hiding like the end result. It's like, yes, this gives you more energy, but it will also increase your chance for a heart attack. So,
Yes. 100, like I'm pretty sure I had 3 heart attacks while I was on it, and because I was 19, I just like your body just eats heart attacks before you're 30
yeah.
years old. Like it just happens.
And here you are, looking better than
Yeah,
ever, still
yeah,
alive, off the C4. He's a
yeah.
recovering C4 addict.
Exactly. Yeah, getting off C4 has been the best thing for my complexion. I'm actually 80 years
Oh,
old, but it's just I got off the C4 and my body just reverse engineered itself back to
wow, like
normal.
Benjamin Button.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be their slogan, like, "If you stop taking this, you will Benjamin Button." Um, but yeah,
Yeah, you gotta wait. But
100%,
go ahead and get into it.
100%. So, let's get into the actual story. So, the headline of the most interesting article I found on this is Bud Light sales have fallen a staggering 17% since Dylan Mulvaney debacle rocked the nation's favorite beer. And so I uploaded the ad from this site, which I believe is taken from Dylan Mulvaney's Instagram. And let's check this out. Okay.
It's crazy that their sales have fallen when all I keep seeing is people destroying these beer
Yes,
cans. So I'm like, where did the beer come from if you're destroying it now?
you would think that it would
You had to
skyrocket.
buy it.
Oh,
You would exactly.
yeah. Do you see anything where it says playing live on your end?
I don't. I just see me and you.
Okay, let
But
me.
I would assume you probably see a bit more than I do just as the producer. There we
Okay.
go.
Do you see that?
I
Okay,
see it now.
perfect.
Yep, yep.
Hi! Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate. This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya! Cheers! Go team! Whatever team you love, I love too. Okay. Love ya. Okay, break a leg. Woo!
All right, so that was the 40 seconds that caused
Short and
people
sweet.
to shoot Bud Light cans with AK-47s.
That is crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, first off, I think it is more offensive to, if anyone's going to be offended, I feel like it should be just like cisgender women, like just people who are born as women, because she's obviously trying to do, like, she's trying to be like the classic woman, like the classic woman of today.
Mhm. Yeah.
And she's like, "What are sports? Like, I didn't like what basketball like it's the basketball month, like where people are bouncing
Yeah.
balls. Like the only balls I know are on my pearl necklace. And like, oh my God, here's a beer. Like this is what men drink when they have sports. Like that is so silly.
This is all
Like, look
brand
at me.
new.
Like I'm like the fun woman
Hey,
that's like playing
she's
with the
only
guys.
365 days in. She's still
That's
learning.
true. Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. Like the, like as she is a woman more and more, she's gonna get like eventually she'll get women's rights, and it's like you have to start
Yeah.
from zero if you transition. It's
Yeah.
like you don't just become a woman and get rights. Like you have to start back in
No.
the 1920s and like get beat by your husband, and then like 10 years later you'll get voting rights, and then like you'll figure out what sports are. So it's
Yeah. And who is Dylan Mulvaney though? Like before this ad, who is Dylan Mulvaney?
I have
What do they do?
I have no idea. I know that she's an activist for trans people. I
Okay.
know that she got an email from Bud Light, I'm assuming one day, and was like, "Hey, you make trans videos on TikTok. Do you want to represent our company?" And she was like, "Hell yeah." And now she's a household
Why
name.
not? Secure the bag. I
Yeah.
mean, I understand why not take endorsement money? I think we all would if especially for, it's like Bud Light, whatever. But I'm also wondering, like, they could just I think Bud Light, the reversal of a lot of the backlash, they could have just like put Kid Rock on the can or something. They could have put just somebody else on a can
They could have.
and just did a canned edition, like a special edition. Each case had like a different person on it. Be like Pokemon cards or something.
Yeah. Or, they sponsor Kid Rock's transition and they're like, look, we want a middle America person representing the company, but we also want to be trans to hit all the boxes. So for
Yeah.
$100 million, Kid Rock, would you transition on Instagram Live? We'll follow your operational status and we'll put you on the cans. And as you get further and further, you'll also get more rights. And yeah, I just feel like it was weird with the choice that they made too, because to me, if you're gonna represent beer's a lot like sports cars, where you just need to be hot. Like beer
Hmm.
equals just a smoking hot babe, and
I feel that.
if you are gonna be on a beer can, I feel like you regardless of what you are, you just need to be hot. I remember. Do you remember when the Sports Illustrated first trans model was on the cover? It was like probably
No.
2 or 3 years
Well,
ago.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I know who you're talking about.
So there was a model on Sports Illustrated who was trans, and I remember I had a group text with a bunch of guys on my baseball team, like former teammates, and we sent around the photo, and we were all like, "Yeah, I would hit that like
Yeah, I
100%."
think if I'm remembering the same, I would also hit that.
Yeah. I was like, I've hooked up with girls that are half as hot as this trans girl on the cover of Sports Illustrated. It's like I literally don't give a shit about the trans part in that case, because I feel like it's all about just being hot. And I feel like if they
Hmm.
had her, or just another just bombshell 10 out of 10, because Dylan Mulvaney,
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna say she's ugly, but I don't think she's a 10 out of 10
Well,
Sports
she's not
Illustrated.
like, yeah, no, I would definitely agree with you there. Anyway, like Dylan's going for more of like kind of that Audrey Hepburn, like classic look.
100%.
It seems like very like 50s, which is not exactly what you pair with a Bud Light.
No, no, I feel like most guys just freaked out. Like they had like just they started internally combusting, and they're like, "This makes me mad. Like, why am I mad?" And they just like grabbed at the trans thing, where if they were actually self-aware, they'd be like, "She's not hot. Like this is the thing that's
Yeah.
pissing me off."
Yeah, no, maybe we should promote that more. Because I always thought that maybe it was the opposite. Like maybe they were they were attracted, so then they just raged out at that. And I'm like, it's okay.
It
It's
could
okay to just think somebody's hot.
Yeah, like
Like,
the thing in middle school where you pick the back of the girl's head that you think is hot, and you're just like, I'm gonna
yeah,
bother her into, being my first girlfriend. And
yeah.
this is just like the all American way of coming on to trans people. You're like, well,
Yeah,
I
that we
can't be
bully
seen in
them.
public with, I can't go on a date with a trans person. I can't tell my friends I'm doing this. Like, but if I talk enough shit to her, I will influence the power dynamic and get her to respond to me. And then it's like she's coming on to me. Logic.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're doing an obstacle course of mental gymnastics here right now, but I think that's kind of where we're at in America,
Yeah.
it seems like. So there's no telling. What I do know that Bud Light was kind of strange for doing this in general, because don't you feel like in today's world, like just not picking any sides is probably like the safer thing to do when it comes to being a business that's trying to make money?
Yeah. So I was actually thinking about the Michael Jordan statement that he made about why he never did any political activism while he was playing. Did you ever see that clip?
No, I don't think
So
so.
back in the day, Michael Jordan was asked why he's not more politically active, why he doesn't campaign for anyone, and it was just assumed that he would be
Mhm.
Democratic, and he might be. I don't think he's ever really come out and said,
Yeah.
this is my political leaning, and his response was Republicans buy sneakers too. Because in his mind, he was like, I don't want to dissuade 50% of the American public from buying Jordans. So he was just like,
Yeah.
why would I take a stand? So I feel like if Bud Light
Exactly.
was smart, they would have done similar thing where they're like, hey, look, transphobes buy beer too.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
fucking
because
do it.
then they retracted everything that they did, kind of. And now I'm like, now you made everybody
Yeah.
mad. You like when you retracted it, it was like, well, now the people that were like, I guess, pro trans, now they're mad. You already made the people that were potentially anti trans mad. And now that's why your sales are down, because now we're all finished blowing up your cans of beer.
Yeah, I saw the retraction that they did when they put out that classic Clydesdale ad for Bud Light, and it was just like they did the
Yeah.
sports car thing. They were like, shit, 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 reverse, reverse, and then they just went back to the Clydesdale. They went like people like two Marines just like pulling up a flag, and there's just emotional music in the background. Like
Should have stuck to
Kid
that.
Rock's just shooting AK-47s off in the background, like chugging Bud Light, and he's like, "It's still okay. I'm a man and I drink Bud Light."
Yeah.
I feel like when I saw that, the first thought in my mind was Bud Light are pussies. They should have just leaned in. Like you have to pick
Right?
it. Like if
Exactly.
you're gonna do the trans campaign, like lean the fuck into it. Like have
It would
Caitlyn
have
Jenner
been
be on the next
Pride's
one.
spear.
Yeah,
Yes. Well, I mean, hey, technically she's on the other side, isn't she's like a Republican, I think. So she's like anti Dylan Mulvaney, I
I
think.
feel like Caitlyn Jenner checks both of the boxes that Bud Light
Yes.
needed. If she wanted to
Caitlyn
go
Jenner
woke,
should have been on the can.
you got to ease Bud Light drinkers into trans people. If you're going to go trans on a Bud Light can, I feel like Caitlyn Jenner would have been the number one choice. Like whoever was in marketing,
Yeah.
fuck that up.
They missed an opportunity there.
Like that was almost too obvious.
It was. It was. It could have been the can of both pride and prejudice.
100%. So speaking of Pride and Prejudice, I did have a couple idea. One of them involved a movie, but I was thinking of ways that Bud Light could get back in the good graces of their just like their main drinking group, which I feel like is college kids and also just
Mhm.
like average Joes in America. Like they just need like that hot girl on the can, or they're not ready for the trans cans yet. They needed to be eased
Yeah.
into the trans cans. So
Yes.
I was thinking, what could Bud Light do to possibly get this sort of main user group, their user base back? That's a weird name for beer drinkers. How can we get our user base back? The first idea that I had was Bud Light Bud Light Studios. So they create a movie studio and they partner with Marvel and they make a new superhero movie where it's Marvel superheroes versus trans superheroes. And it's just like the Hulk versus trans Hulk. Like you have like both sides, and it's just like this epic battle. And ultimately it culminates in like this final scene where it's just like the Hulk is just there's in a massive fight between Hulk and trans Hulk, and it's close. Like they're going back and forth. They're slamming each other into skyscrapers.
All
And
right.
then right before the Hulk just like lays down the hammer on Trans Hulk, he's like has the hand around her neck, and he looks into the camera, and he takes a sip of Bud Light, and he just says, "Not in my country," and then he just fucking like lays the final blow. So it's like you're showing that trans people are strong because like they're also the Hulk, but they're also like, we're Bud Light. Like, what do you think was gonna happen? And then everyone who drinks
Yeah.
Bud Light would be just like chugging it in the theater, going like, "Yeah, but like I love Bud Light, but I also respect the trans Hulk because like that was kind of cool." And that's the middle
Yeah,
ground.
they should have just reached out to the public at that point and been like, "What do you guys want us to say?
Yeah,
What do you guys want us to do
yeah.
to make this better for everybody?"
So if you had to come up with an idea as the because I'm pretty sure they fired their entire C-suite. It was like the marketing director went,
Oh man.
the CFO, they just got rid of everyone. If you had to come up with something that you had to pitch to get their main user base back, but also retain the woke people, like the, you know,
Mhm.
like kind of like stand that middle ground. Do you have anything that maybe just pops into your head where you're like, all right, this is going to be crazy, but it might just work?
I think I genuinely would have spun it as like, "Oh, this is just like the new Pokemon Go." This is like and we just would keep putting out a different face on a can,
I like that.
and then it would be like Dylan Mulvaney just happened to be the start. We didn't really mean anything by that. That just happened to be it just worked out that way. There Donald Trump could be on the next one, honestly. Like my cat is trying to interrupt the show.
Oh, what are her thoughts? Is she trying to get into the C-suite of Bud Light?
Yeah, she's very classy, so she doesn't drink Bud Light, only martinis, but
Okay, you out of the
um
good stuff.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. She's like a grown lady at this point. She's way beyond her college years.
So she's more
But
into the
yeah,
hard
I
liquor at this point.
oh yeah. I mean every day is a rough day for her, you know. It's so hard to be
Yeah,
lounging and literally that's about it. Lounging, occasionally a cry of
hundred
which is
percent,
like a meow cry.
100%. I love it. I
Might chase a ball here and there. I don't know.
yeah. There you go. Stay active. You know, snort a line of C4. Get that pre-workout in her so she has the energy.
Oh my god. You know, it is funny. She does have like real people anxiety medication, which I found like gabapentin is like universal apparently. Like I have a friend that told me that they were taking that because they were in the middle of like transitioning medication. And then
Mm,
I looked like in our cat drawer for I was just getting some treats and I saw like a bag of gabapentin and I was like, my friend is taking the same anxiety medication that my
as the
cat
cat.
takes.
I feel like it's hilarious that we've acknowledged that animals have anxiety and can get treated for anxiety, and there's still some people that are like, therapies for pussies, and it's like their cats on
Right?
anxiety medication.
It's like seriously take your meds, people. Honestly, it's the best thing in the world when medication actually works. You're
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, I'm not just like nervous about everything. I just have like a brain chemistry problem."
I
And that's
I
okay.
hope there's someone who's listening to this that's gonna go to the doctor and try to get a prescription for their cat, but like it's secretly for them. They're like, my cat's been having so much back pain, like he's been asking me for Vicodin. He's just like meowing. You know, I shake the pill bottle and he's like, more, and like just going more Vicodin, meow, and just like someone trying to get there are doctors out there in New York City that 100% they just be like,
Oh
what
my
does your
god,
cat
yeah.
have? Glaucoma. Here's
Sure.
4 months supply of oxycodone. And you're like, all right,
Yeah. Oh, sure. There's a lot of madness going on in these streets of New York. Anything you can dream of can
100%.
happen to you and will
Yes.
at some point.
I do like the Pokemon Go idea. Like you have the different people on different cans, and then you could even turn it into a scavenger hunt where like you have people that are
Exactly.
doing bar crawls and they're just blacked
Yeah.
out trying to like
Yeah.
get the Caitlyn Jenner can, get the Barack
Yeah.
Obama can. Like you just have like different people
Exactly.
on the
It's gonna
cans.
increase sales. People are gonna be buying more just to get the can. And maybe make it like if somebody gets this can, like you get a prize or something. Cause they have money to shell out for like a all paid for vacation or something for a winner. So I'm like, I would have just totally spun this whole thing and been like, this is not even about trans rights. This is just about you got to catch them all if you want an all expenses paid for trip
Yeah,
to Aruba.
exactly. That gotta catch them all could go either way though as a slogan because there could be some guy that's 14 Bud Lights deep that hates trans people and he reads the gotta like it's a picture of a trans person on a
He
can
goes out
and it says
hunting.
gotta catch them all and he just fucking racks his shotgun and walks outside.
No.
He's like, fuck yeah, Bud Light. let's do this.
It just gets worse and worse
Yeah.
for Bud Light. They're like, "That's not what we
Yeah,
meant, I swear."
yeah, if he calls his friend and he's just like, "Yo, I think Bud Light wants us to do a trans purge. Like, I'm gonna start tonight. Like, we're gonna do this thing." Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I we'll see. I
yeah,
wouldn't put it past us, The Purge movies have been around for a while.
yeah,
The
and
Purge in real life is kind of happening as we speak. I mean,
yeah, that's another
it kinda
marketing
happens every
opportunity
day.
for Marvel. You combine with Marvel and the Purge, and then you just throw out movies, and you see who's gonna go see it and try to get support on both sides. But yeah, New York does feel like the Purge, for sure.
Yeah. Especially now that it's warm out here. So we know what happens when it gets warm out in New York.
Yeah,
Everybody comes out.
because winter coats restrict you wanting to fight. So like when people are just more free and they're walking around in t-shirts, they're like, I could fucking swing
Yeah.
my fist right now so much more easily.
Yeah. They're free with like the breeze, the subway breeze,
Yeah,
ready to cause an issue.
100%. I just have one more thing on the whole whatever. What do you? It's not even like a scandal. It's just like a shitstorm, like a firestorm because Bud Light did it to
Yeah.
themselves. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I feel like it was just like so funny to me that if you look at it from Dylan Mulvaney's perspective, she's just, some person that happens to be trans that it has 1.5 million followers on TikTok or whatever. She's probably getting blasted by promotional opportunities left and right. Like she's just like, oh, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. And she sees the email from Bud Light and she
Mhm.
sets it up and she's like, yeah, this like pretty casual. This looks like a cool ad. They're like, whatever, we'll give you 30 grand for a 45-second Instagram video. And she probably recorded that and was like, that was pretty good. Like that was solid. And then she
Right? It
clicks
was
upload.
quick. That took her literally 45 seconds of her
And then
day.
2 hours,
Like,
and then 2 hours later, all of Twitter is like, "I'll murder my family before I drink a Bud Light." And she's like, "What
yeah.
the fuck is
Can you
happening?"
imagine?
She's like, "What the fuck did I
She's, like,
do?"
out to dinner, like, her phone's blowing up. Like, all I did was actually like, she literally filmed that on her way out the door,
Yeah.
because that took no time at all.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't I don't even think there was any rehearsal there. I mean, why would you need to even rehearse anything for that
I mean,
little
she was
video?
probably on her way to a Gatsby party and was like, I might as well just film it in this outfit. And then 30
Yeah.
seconds later, the world starts falling apart.
Yeah, and we haven't heard from her since. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't actually know.
I mean, if she's smart, she'll be in a bunker somewhere far away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. It's really like, yeah, I kind of feel bad about that because I'm like, it could have been really anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that was fully necessary, but
Yeah. I mean, it is in the best interest of the other beer companies to protect her because everyone's been going from Bud Light to Miller Lite or like Anheuser-Busch's Bud Light. So basically every beer that isn't Anheuser-Busch, their sales have been skyrocketing. So secretly the other
yeah,
beer companies are probably like, look, we'll give you $20 million to just keep recording videos and we'll put you in a bunker and nothing will happen to you, but we'll just make sure you're safe. And she's just like, I did not think my
wow,
life would be this within 48 hours, but
yeah.
here we are.
See, there's so many layers probably
Yeah,
happening that we don't know.
100%.
I'm Team Miller Lite all the way. Miller Lite superior by 0.1%, I don't know,
Yeah.
over Bud Light.
Yeah, it all tastes the same to me, honestly,
No, it
but
really does.
yeah, Miller Lite's not a bad choice. So,
It's fresh, it's crisp.
yeah, so what have you been looking into this past week?
Well, yesterday, while us Americans were fast asleep, King Charles was officially becoming king, even though he's actually been king for like months now, because
Mm,
I'm pretty sure the queen died like back in September or something.
yeah.
So it's been a while that he's actually been king, but the coronation happened yesterday morning, which is like a 2-hour long event, which shockingly is not that bad. I thought that it was probably like a 4-hour long charade
Yeah,
slash parade through the streets into the chapel or wherever they go.
100%.
Um, I have no idea where they actually go.
Yeah, I feel like anytime you see a public event for the royal family on TV, it's just you don't even see the end of it. It's just like miles and
No,
miles and
the
miles of
queen
people.
died like for 3 days. It took her 3 days, I swear to God, to
Yeah.
get into the ground.
Yeah, it actually took 3 days. Like she was just constantly stroking out for 3 days, and they were like, "Well, this sucks for her, but it'll prolong the celebration."
Yeah. So I was pleased that it went by fast because by the time we woke up, it was like already over. But so we were getting all the Twitter photos, TikToks, etc. And if you don't know, King Charles is like 74. So he's waited a very long time to be king, which is also very funny because I swear to God, the queen was just holding out like for so long
Yeah.
just so he wouldn't be king. Literally, she held out as long as she could.
So is it his mom that was the queen?
Yes.
That is so
Yes.
fucking weird to me to see an old person and their parent is still alive. Like
Yeah.
it like
You're like,
die already.
whoa,
Yeah.
like
Like,
the queen was ancient. Like
yeah.
she was seriously ancient, but she looked so good. So I'm like, you know, they have access to crazy healthcare.
Oh yeah.
Or, but on the topic of healthcare, something else is going astray in the royal castle because all that I could see in all of these pictures and videos, someone zoomed in on King Charles's hands. And if you haven't seen a picture, you should really do yourself the favor and look at a picture because
Should I
they're
are you able to put it in the chat or should I send it to or should I look it up right now?
honestly, look it up. Just literally search King Charles
Hands. Okay.
hands
All right, getting a lot of
because
pornography. No, I'm just kidding.
oh my real
That'd be
I was like,
funny.
"Oh my
It's like
goodness,
someone's
send
just
it
yeah,
over."
someone just CGI'd King Charles' hands just jerking off a cam girl. Let's see here.
They
Yeah.
are
Whoa.
what? Yes.
Sausage ass fingers. Got some
They
links.
are the most shocking thing that I have seen in quite some time. They are so large and in charge, so round, so girthy. I
Mm.
mean, and I don't think, do you really want your fingers to be considered girthy?
I mean, who
I
is
don't,
his
I
wife?
mean,
Is his
maybe.
wife still alive?
Oh, of course she
I
is.
was gonna say, like,
Miss Camilla
she.
Parker
I mean,
Bowles.
she's definitely happy
Well,
because
they are doing weird things.
once you
Absolutely.
get older, like you start to get those ED problems, and then bang, he just comes out of
He
nowhere with
doesn't
these
even
fucking
need
8-inch sausage
exactly.
fingers, and he's like, I got you, honey. Well, here I'm just gonna go in and out real quick, and oh, you came already.
Actually, that if you just in the picture, just looking at two fingers of his actually are like they are very girthy put together.
I'm jealous.
So really,
Yeah.
well, I wouldn't be too jealous because I just can't get these hands out of my mind. And I think that that is probably a sign of very poor health. And I looked it up. And of course, it's something that I would have no idea how to actually pronounce. But It's got to be something like edema, which is fluid. Like, and we've probably all seen people that might have edema of the legs where
Mm,
they swell. But and it can be anywhere. It could be your ears, your feet, your hands.
yeah.
And it seems like his hands have like really severe edema, which is basically just poor blood circulation, fluid forming. And poor blood circulation means that you have heart issues.
Mm.
And he's had this going on for like 6 years now, and he does crack jokes about it. But it has me kind of just wondering, like, how long is this man going to live? He is not going to live that long. I
Yeah.
mean, he waited so long to be the king, and now it's like he's probably got like 5 years.
Yeah, he can count them down in real time. He can just be like, all
Yeah.
right, I'm going to put a finger down next year. This is how long I can live.
Yes. Yeah. No, they were the star of the show, in my opinion. And there's also there was a clip which I should have pulled up, but I lost it in my TikTok studies. But there was a clip where basically when they get like inducted or whatever, they really become king or queen, they have to like touch about 1,000 items on the table. And these items are like historical. They've been
Mm.
around for God knows how long. Like it's like a crown, a
Just like
tiara, a
royal
sword.
artifacts.
Yeah. And so like all you see is like this hand, like just this fat sausage hand reaching out and touching these items. And it just made me think of Scary Movie too, I think, with the I don't know if you've seen those movies,
It's
but
been a while, but I go ahead. I feel like I'm remembering what you're about to
yeah.
say.
Well, there's one guy that he's like the butler, the house butler, and he has like a little hand, like it's a prosthetic hand,
Yes.
but they made it look like the most disgusting hand ever. And that is King Charles's hand, basically.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to turn his hand into an artifact. Like there has to be so much scar tissue that like as
Yeah.
soon as he dies they're like we don't even need to preserve this hand. We're just going to cut it off and put it with the rest of the royal artifacts. And it is
Yeah.
creepy. It's weird the picture too that I saw on Google
They're like
because
red.
one looks worse than the other. But he's covering he's
The
covering the better hand with the worse hand. And he's
He's
just like
made
proud of
peace.
it. He's like, this is
Yeah,
my
that's what
a
I'm
weird,
saying. I'm like,
gross hand.
wouldn't you wear gloves or something? Like at this point, he could have just started wearing gloves because, like, don't rich British people, they just do that for fashion, I feel. So we could have never known about
Yeah.
this. And now, unfortunately, we do. But it seems like he's taking it in good spirits. And the UK itself seems to be taking it in good spirits because I saw that a UK company is making King Charles finger-shaped vapes.
What?
Um, for all your vaping needs.
Wow.
So it's like smoking a cigar, but you're vaping King Charles's sausage finger. And they come in delicious flavors, including Victoria sponge, Scotch egg,
Mm.
breakfast tea, and my personal favorite, the coronation chicken.
Wow. I love how I
Mm-mm-mm.
love how they're just like we're so sure that people are gonna catch on to this idea of sucking off fingers to vape that we're not just gonna launch one flavor. We're gonna start with
No.
multiple. Like we're so confident this is a thing that we're gonna launch with
Yes.
5 flavors.
Yes. And they're the most bizarre flavors. And we have to just be honest here. Like the UK really should just get props for being so outlandishly terrible at making food that it's almost a talent.
Yeah.
Like their flavor palette is so unique to me that they're eating coronation chicken and a Scotch egg, which I'm not sure what a Scotch egg is, but I don't think I want it.
Yeah, it's either either an egg dipped in scotch or a bottle of scotch with just raw eggs in it. But either way, I'd still rather drink that than Bud Light.
Yeah, actually, at least
I
you'd
get
get
drunk.
more intoxic. Yeah, and you'd get some protein because there's egg in there.
Exactly. Is there a way for the King Charles fingers to partner with Dylan Mulvaney where they're like, we'll put different people on each finger, and then like you're gonna like they'll learn from Bud Light's mistake. They're just like, look, people want the Dylan Mulvaney cans. They want the trans cans. They want the trans vapes. We just have to lean in hard, and we're just gonna like double down on the mistake that Bud Light made. And then Dylan Mulvaney, like tomorrow, she uploads a 40-second video where she's just like,
Yes.
"Hey guys," just sucking off King Charles's finger. How's it going?
Hey, I think she might be a little hesitant for the endorsement money now, but you know what? When you're hitting home runs, you should just keep on swinging.
Oh
And I
yeah.
really think take that sausage finger money and run with
You
it.
gotta pay the bills. I'm just thinking, like, I was in Lake Tahoe for a bachelor party this past weekend, and I was smoking a cigar and like trying to feel, doing like the typical cigar lounge, just chilling, drinking whiskey, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to think what would be the first thought that would run through my head if I walked into a cigar lounge and I just saw someone puffing on a finger that I don't know isn't human at first. Because like if I see a finger detached from a body, my first thought is that shouldn't be there. Like
Yeah.
there's something definitely wrong here. And then to see the
Yeah.
guy like inhale it and then blow out smoke, I'd be like, did this guy? He's killed someone for sure, and he's preserved their fingers and hollowed them out and put
That's
vape
what my
juice in
thought
there.
was. How did you cut like a bowl into this finger?
Yeah,
It was
like
just like drilled in, going, I guess Jeffrey Dahmer style, just taking out the power tools and just
100%.
a little drill bit in. It actually could maybe be easy.
That's a missed
Wait,
opportunity by Dahmer too. I mean, if you're a serial killer in 2023, you do need merch because you can't like
yeah.
you needed to rely on mainstream media and like traditional media to push you in the past. But now you can
hmm
just kill someone and get on TikTok and be like, I just cut this guy's finger off. Like I'm promoting myself.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get out there.
And you can keep little body parts like that for quite a while because they don't take up much space. And I'm pretty sure if you put in like a finger in a bottle of liquor, it will just, without like sugar, like just straight liquor, I
Yeah.
think it will just stay
Yeah.
like that. I mean, I could be wrong there, but
I
I
mean,
know in Iceland there's a bar that has a toe that somebody like a frostbitten toe is in, they keep it.
yeah.
And basically when like tourists come and just like locals, I guess, but they make tourists like you can get free drinks the rest of the night if you take a shot with the toe inside your shot glass. So
Mm.
you're definitely getting toe to the lip.
I mean,
But
that
hey, free
I feel
drinks.
like that's worth the free drinks for sure, especially if it's already been
Absolutely. I would
preserved.
so do it.
Yeah.
I did not. My partner went to Iceland without me, which is the first problem. But she went and she did not do the toe shot because perhaps she's smarter than the both of us. Perhaps she just isn't as much fun. I don't know. But I would absolutely, when she told me this, I was like, I will absolutely go to Iceland and take a shot out of that toe, that frostbitten toe.
Yeah, is this like you said it's in a bar in Iceland and it's
Yes.
not a like a multiple spot thing. Like you go to this bar to this toe. It's like
Yeah.
on Travel
Then that,
Advisor where it's
yes.
like go to the hot springs, take a shot
Yeah.
of a toe. That's like it's
Yes.
like a main thing.
I honestly, it seems like one of those things, you know, it's real when it's like not at a lot of bars because it's like,
Mm,
listen, you can't just have a bunch of frostbitten toes. You're going to know that this is fake.
yeah.
But it's just one bar. And I think the towns are pretty small in Iceland. Isn't there just like the one big town?
Yeah, yeah. So I was in Iceland back in 2019. I actually didn't hear about the tow, or I feel like
Oh,
I definitely
yeah.
would have been. There were a couple nights on that trip where I 100% would have been down
Yes.
to take a shot of it, to rip a toe, just fucking fill me up. And the guy's like, "You already have
Yes.
free drinks. You don't need to do this again." I'm just like, "Fucking hit
You
me
already
with it,
did it
dude."
once
Yeah, what
earlier
am I, a
today.
pussy? Give me your toe. I'll cut off your toe and put this in if you don't give me the toe right now. And he's like, "All
Only
right."
one toe shot
Yeah.
per night. How many times do we have to keep kicking you out of here?
Yeah, I'm just like laying on the bar. I'm like, one more, one more. Please.
I bet if we pulled up a map like together, we could probably find it. So I definitely will and let you know because that sounds like a good trip to take in the
I
future
just want to look.
for that specific reason.
Yeah, I want to look up a picture of the toe just to see if my initial reaction is more disgusting than King Charles's hands.
Please.
All right, Iceland. I'm just gonna look in Iceland toe shots. Yep,
Okay, so there it
human.
is, and it's
The
like it's
cocktail made with a frozen human toe. That's it's less gross than
it
the
is.
hand because it's got like a char to it. It's like it's
Yes, it
almost
just
like
looks like a piece of charcoal
yeah, it looks
at
like
that
it's
point.
burnt. It's got some barbecue sauce kind of like
Lather
reflection.
it
Like it
up.
looks like it's just been marinated in some A1 and now it's just like it's like a smoky toe.
Yeah. And I'm looking at other pictures. There's like this old guy. I'm like, is this your toe? Wait, I think he's a British man donated his frozen big toe.
Yeah. I think the problem with King
Incredible.
Charles is that it's still raw. Like it's still like it
Yeah.
hasn't been cooked. If you look at a piece of raw chicken, it's disgusting, but like
Yeah.
after he passed away, just like give it a few days to marinate, throw it on the grill,
Yes.
preserve it, and
Yes.
I'll do it for
That's
free.
what we should just start they should start doing, the monarchy. Let's just start really making this a little bit more serious. Let's start saving body parts
Yes.
from the passing
Yeah.
members.
People are going to start
I
doing
think
that
that
for
would be
clout.
better.
Like Instagram models will be like, "Oh my god, Kate Middleton just chopped off her toe and put it in a vodka soda." Like, I'm going to do it and also I'll lose a little bit of weight when I chop off my toe. So like it's a
True.
win-win, like,
True. You have to shed some weight for that wedding coming up. You might as well just get
Yeah.
rid of it anyways. You don't need it.
Hop on the clout train. Get a sponsor, get an alcohol sponsor. They sponsor your chopping off of the toe. You do it on Instagram Live, and then you get paid, and you can't. Actually, I've heard that if you chop off a toe, but it's not your big toe or your pinky toe, your balance isn't affected. So I would
Yeah.
ask my sponsor, like, "Hey, Jack Daniels, can I cut off my middle toe and still get
Mhm.
paid the same amount, or would you pay me less, but I'll also be able to walk?" So I'd have to negotiate with that with them.
Yeah. I think even with losing your big toe, it's probably like the easiest prosthetic you could get, right? Like you just clip it on.
Yeah.
And I think you'd be able to walk probably after, I mean, maybe. Who am I to say? I still have both my big toes. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't be judging here, but do you actually think that you could cut off your toe if you had the right incentive?
Yeah, it couldn't be money. I don't think there's any amount of money I would self-mutilate for, at least my
Yeah.
toe. I like to cut off an appendage. I
Yeah.
would have to have a survival instinct. It would have to
Yeah,
be
like
it would
what's that movie?
Yeah, I was gonna say it would have to
127
be
hours
like
or
the
something?
pussy version of 127 hours. Like he has his whole arm stuck in the rock, and me, it's like my pinky toe. And everyone watching the movie is like, just cut it off already, you pussy. Like this other guy had his whole arm in there. You can't just chop off a
Yeah.
pinky. And I'm like, oh, I can't do it to myself. Like it
You have to
hurts.
psych yourself up so much. I think because I almost feel like it for the 127 hours situation, it's like at that point, I didn't see the movie, so I could actually be totally wrong here. And I haven't read anything about him. But he
James
probably
Franco?
had like well, I've read
Yeah.
about James Franco.
Yeah.
I've read too much about James
Yeah.
Franco. But he would probably like be kind of delirious, right? Like with adrenaline and other emotions because you're literally stuck. So,
Yeah.
but that's huge. I mean, your arm is huge. But I'm just saying if I was to cut off like a finger or a toe, like I would really have to work myself into the craziest mental state to
Yeah.
just rage out and just do it quick.
Yeah, like so back boom, that's why you have the C4. You have the C4
Yeah, okay.
and the Bud
Back to
Light. You
taking the
do the
C4.
C4 Bud Light mixture, so like you're a little bit numb, but you're also fired up. You have the adrenaline pumping. And then that's, how they market it. And they're like, when you chop your toe off, we'll put this in our drink if this ever happens to you. But yeah, I would be I feel like if I was going to chop my toe off, I would definitely. I feel like I would at least need to be drunk. Like I would get
Oh,
drunk.
yeah.
I don't know if I would want to be on other drugs though, like uppers, because would you want your heart rate going up if it's already probably going to be through the roof? So I feel like if anything, I'd want to
Yeah.
take a Xanax, drink a beer,
Mhm.
just be like almost passing out, and then right before I do, I just like fucking boom, just hit the chop, and that's it.
Yeah. Take yourself all the way to the hospital first,
Yeah.
then do it in the parking lot.
Yes.
And then you could just pass out and be
100%.
fine. You'll be stitched up, and on your way back home, it'll be
100%.
totally blacked out. You won't remember because the C4 and the Bud Light. So it'll just be like all a dream for you.
100%.
And maybe you'll get an all expense paid for trip to Aruba if you have the right Bud Light cans.
Yes. And that's the final state. It's like the most fucked up game of Pokemon Go you've ever heard in your
I
life.
think we're onto something though. Like I swear I've seen a movie just like this. Like
Yeah.
there's got to be a shitty Hulu movie out there that is basically this storyline that we just came up with.
Yeah, like there's what's the Pete Davidson horror movie that just came out? Did you see that?
No, wait. I
Bored
did watch
in the
that. It was
house or
so,
something?
oh wait. No, well, yes, that is a scene in the movie. I think it's called Bodies, Bodies,
Bodies,
Bodies.
bodies, bodies.
But
Okay.
yeah, spoiler alert. Like, yeah, what you said was playing while he
Yes.
dies,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, and I won't give away the ending. I actually like it was pretty solid. I thought like it was entertaining, but it's just like the dumbest fucking way to die in a horror movie,
That
like the
was the best
cliche.
part of the movie,
Yeah.
actually, because I found myself so annoyed watching it because the girls just kept screaming. The whole movie was just girls screaming.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm just like, are you really just gonna scream if somebody like dies? Like that's all you do. And I think that probably does happen. But for me, I'm just like, you're next. If you won't stop screaming, you're next.
Yeah.
Because I can't stand you.
Yeah, like if you I don't think anyone's actually ever screamed when they've seen someone murdered. Like I feel like it's almost so obvious that it wouldn't happen. I feel like if anything, you would be
Yeah.
speechless and just freeze up, and then 0.1% of people would actually do the right thing, which I am not in that category. I'd be like watching it happen, and then I'd probably go take a shot of whiskey to calm my heart rate from just seeing someone butchered right in
Yes.
front of me. I don't think I would make, like, I honestly don't think I'd make a noise if I saw someone
I
murdered.
I don't think so either. I think I would just be stunned and
Yeah.
then try to quietly wander away.
Yeah.
So casually
Look, I think,
that the killer doesn't even notice I was there.
yeah, I think the most logical way to figure this out is that we have a serial killer on next week's episode and we say, what are the
Yes.
most common noises that people make when you slaughter them to death? And you can say nothing. That's like multiple choice. It's like scream, yell.
Let's put up a poll.
Yeah, all
poll.
all our serial killers that are listening to this episode, this only
It's an
applies to you.
anonymous poll.
Yeah.
We just want to know.
We get like
that-
4,000
we won't
replies.
get your IP address or anything. We just want to know,
Yeah,
what do people do? What do they look like?
yeah.
What do they say right before they're going to die?
And we'll offer them to come on the podcast, but have the voice modulator and put
Yeah.
the mask on. And the guy just replies and he's like, no, I'm fine. I'll do it just like me. And we're like, what? You'll come on a podcast just raw talking about serial killing? He's like, yeah, it's passion of mine. It's a hobby. So I like talking
Yeah.
about it, which I respect.
Gotten really good at it over the years, and you guys are cool.
Yeah.
For now.
Like if a serial killer didn't enjoy killing people, like it's almost a waste. Like if you're going to
Yeah.
kill someone and that is your passion,
Mhm.
and you can't stop it, like it's gonna happen anyway. I hope like the serial killer feels just like the same way that another guy would feel
Yeah.
doing woodwork. Like they're just like,
Yeah.
God, this like I love it. You know, it's like the only thing that gets me up in the
Yes.
morning. I started on the side. I want to do this full
Yeah.
time eventually. You know, it's my passion project. I cold email
Mhm.
a bunch of people for opportunities. Like I hope
Yeah.
it's like that.
I hope so. I feel like it is for a lot, but for some, I genuinely think that I mean, they literally like every time they kill somebody, they're like,
Yeah.
not again. I can't believe it got this far again.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it goes one way or the other. Like it goes that way where it's almost kind of like unexpected, and then they go into a bout of rage, and then there's the other one where they've been planning it out for months, and
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
go eat a double cheeseburger in a drive-through before they like 5
Mhm.
minutes before they're like asking their mom how their day was, and they just go
Yeah,
and kill someone, and then they like go on a date after that. It's just like
totally.
they're just complete so
Those are like the Ted
compartmentalized.
Bundys. That's what they
Yeah.
do. But I would say like maybe Jeffrey Dahmer was like kind of the opposite. He was
Yeah.
kind of like, not again. Even though it was like, I'm pretty sure you at this point you should start picking up on the pattern that's
Yeah.
happening here.
Yeah.
you you probably are going to murder this person and
Yeah.
then cut them into pieces.
Yeah.
Like you did the last 10 people that you hung out with.
Yeah, he's always so surprised. Like
Yeah.
it's just like
Disappointed in himself. It's like just get over yourself, okay?
yeah.
You kill people and you dismember them. It's time for you to love yourself, okay?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, it's like if you don't study for any test in school and like you like go in with the expectation, you're like I haven't studied at all, but somehow this is going to end up with a good result. And then every time you get it back and you get like a 45 and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
like I really thought I
I
had
can
a
relate to
chance." I feel like
that.
I feel like Jeffrey Dahmer it has that same feeling where he just like kills someone. He's like, "Oh, like I thought
I
I
really
had
thought
it."
it'd be different this
Yeah.
time.
He's like, "Oh God, like I just thought I should wing it, and you know, I didn't. It didn't work out."
No, rest in peace
Yeah,
to all the souls lost, though, actually, by serial killers.
yeah. Rest in peace. And I feel like that was a very solid first episode where I just
Okay.
I
Yeah, we talk too much.
no, I feel like that was great. Like
Okay.
and that's good data for future episodes because I
Yeah.
just did the 2 articles each just because I was like, I guess that seems like a good number.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe some weeks we will
Yeah.
not like get to one, or maybe start two or start one of ours. So I feel like having two as a
Mhm.
backup is good. And if we only get to
Yeah.
one, then it's like we only get to one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it, that I'm totally fine with keeping just a casual pace. If at any point you want to start pacing better, like we can kind of work on that too. I think it's more of just I'm always down to like keep a move on topics. It would just be more of like how we like social cue, but I guess it doesn't matter because we can cut it out later, like
Yeah.
our non-show pauses and cues to move to the next topic. But yeah, I think we talked about 2 solid topics.
Yeah, that was great. I feel like I'm totally down to, like you said, just keep it casual. If we go on tangents, which is great, like I love going on tangents, and we
Yeah.
stay on one topic for 20 minutes, that's perfectly okay with me. And then other weeks we might go faster, but yeah,
Mhm.
that was I
Cool.
thought that went great.
Yeah, awesome. No, I love doing shows that kind of for me, just the people listening can feel like they're just bantering with us
Yeah.
and in the room. I That seems like the goal. So I'm on board for that. And just casual bantering of the latest topics.
Yeah, 100%.